From the Victory Studios in downtown Little Rock, this is Capitol View with your hosts, Roby Brock and David Goins.
And good Sunday morning to you, and welcome into Capitol View. I'm David Goins.
And I'm Roby Brock. Thanks for joining us. One of the busiest weeks in Arkansas politics, the perfect launching point for our inaugural broadcast. First, a quick glance at the biggest issues for the week. The Arkansas healthcare expansion vote delayed on Friday, now set for Monday.
The oil spill in Mayflower cleanup continues. Some homeowners have the go-ahead to move back. We have Attorney General Dustin McDaniel with us on what still needs to happen.
Plus our political roundtable, John Brummett of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Sunday morning buzz host Bill Vickery. But we begin first with the Arkansas House deciding to postpone the healthcare expansion vote until Monday.
House Speaker Davy Carter joining us now. First, let's talk about the decision to delay the vote on Friday. Speaker Carter, what's your expectation for what will happen throughout the rest of this weekend leading into Monday?
David, Roby, first of all, thanks for the invitation to be on the show. Excited, happy for you.
Good to have you.
I think the members had a reasonable request, and that request was to be able to go home, talk to their constituents about the private option, about a bill that hundreds and hundreds of hours have gone into, that I think has a vast majority support of the General Assembly, and they wanted the opportunity to go back and explain to them what they've learned over the past several weeks after weighing it out, whether to do this today or Friday or the Monday. It just seemed like a reasonable request, so I think that's why I granted it.
Do you think the votes are there now? Do you think that the decision has been made by some of these members who maybe are put down in the undecided camp, but they needed the weekend to go get political cover, or do you think that you are still a few votes shy?
Roby, I think we are beyond the point of deciding whether or not the private option is the best choice versus what has been referred to as the do-nothing option. Just to dive right down into where we are, I think, frankly, we're talking about an issue that's emotionally charged, an issue that's dominated national and local and state politics for years and years and years and years. And when you have this, you can have an 8-hour debate about the benefits of a private option or the do-nothing option, and then a lot of reaction is not from members, but you're implementing Obamacare, but we're not. And I think they need the opportunity to go back and explain why that's not what's happening and why this is the best choice for the state.
Let's step back to Friday. Congressman Griffin in Washington, the Ways and Means Committee with Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius. Let's take a listen to some of what was said there.
If this passes, have you decided whether to approve it, or are you waiting?
No, sir.
Okay, so it's not approved.
Well, again, I'm a former legislator, former governor. As you well know, anticipating what any legislative body may do before they do it is probably not a very beneficial expenditure of time.
I'm familiar with that. So your staff hasn't seen, the bill's been published.
I assume my staff is in close touch with the Arkansas staff, but again, we have not looked at when the bill passes, we'll be happy to take a look at it.
Gotcha.
Does that seem like firm support from Washington?
Look, this is about Arkansas taking control of our healthcare system. And if they don't approve it, they don't approve it. But guess what? The bill doesn't go into effect. That's one of several triggers and conditions upon which we are willing, the state of Arkansas, to take on this private option to do something different than the federal government has always done. That's what this is about. I don't care if she's read it or not. I want her to approve it after we pass it, but if they don't approve it, then there's no deal. We're in a strong negotiating position right now, and I think that whether she's read it or not is wholly irrelevant to what we're talking about right now.
We've got about 30 seconds here. Quick question for you. Do you have an alternative if it does not get the funding that it needs? What happens if that happens?
Roby, I'm an optimist, and I refuse to believe that we're not going to make the right decision for the state of Arkansas. This is about taking control from the federal government. If we wait around, if we do nothing, and sit around and wait for the federal government to solve this problem, I will be old and gray and this state will be broke. And that's where we are. This is about us taking control and trying to do something different, do something more efficient, do something that's good for the state, and that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to go all in to punch it over the goal line and make sure it happens.
House Speaker Davy Carter, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Coming up after a quick break, we'll update you on the oil spill cleanup in Mayflower and talk to Arkansas Attorney General Dustin McDaniel about response to the cleanup. I'm Roby Brock alongside David Goins, and you're watching Capitol View on Sunday morning on KARK.